Made it.
So as you can probably make out here, I have moved on from Port Hardy. I headed down the island the next morning there. It was in the pouring rain, which I think you saw a bit of, and made my way down to through along that part of the coast of the island, Telegraph Cove, places like that. It's quite interesting. And on down the island highway to Courtenay, Comox, Campbell River area, where I met up with a friend of mine who, which is some of you may know. His name's David Chantler. Him and his wife Sheryl own Trickster Theatre in Calgary, whom I have been involved with for a number of years, and they're good friends of mine and Penny's. Um, and a number of years ago, they bought a piece of land in a co-op on an island called Maurelle Island, which is north of Quadra Island. And that's where I am now. So David and I came in to Maurelle a couple days ago now. Fortunately, the weather just changed perfectly. When I got up the next morning, it was absolutely beautiful, and it's been beautiful ever since we got here. This is their cottage or cabin here on Maurelle, and I'll just swing around here. You can get an idea. They call this Elephant Bay. So we are in an area, is what's called the Octopus Islands. There's a marine park across the way from me there, protected marine park. On our way out here on the boat the other day, as soon as we got on the boat, came out a little ways, we had an orca actually surface right beside the boat, sprayed and tail up in the air and everything. It was fantastic. So that's the sort of thing that you see here. Their story of getting this place and moving this house or cottage or cabin you see behind me, which is actually a float home. It's a houseboat that was purchased in their family and brought out here, floated out here from Quadra. And unfortunately, their plan was to have it out in the bay as a float home, but unfortunately, as soon as they got it here, it started to sink. So that's quite an interesting story. I've asked David if he'd be willing to maybe do a bit of an interview with me. So hopefully in the few days that I'm going to be here, in the next few days, I'll be able to corner him for a little bit, and he can tell us the story of how that houseboat got up on this part on the shore, how they ended up finding this piece of paradise out here, which is just absolutely gorgeous. It's boat access only, and it's pretty remote. And also maybe talk a little bit about Trickster Theatre and their very interesting life that him and Sheryl have had over the years. Trickster Theatre is over 40 years old now, and maybe a lot of you are familiar with it. Maybe your kids or yourself went through some of the Trickster Theatre programs that they do across the province of Alberta. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. And I will maybe take a couple other videos while I'm here. We're going to go out and do some kayaking. There's supposed to be a bit of a July 1st party tomorrow that we were invited to, so maybe I'll see if I can get some shots of that. In the meantime, I will leave you with the incredible sunset of Elephant Bay in front of Maurelle Island. We'll talk to you soon.